Good evening, everyone. Now it's working. Bienvenidos a todos. Thank you all. Wow, we love seeing our auditorium all full. We're like little kids. Yeah, we're like little kids. First day at school, back from summer vacation. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I will now call the Hialeah City Council meeting for August 11 of 2026 to order at 5:39 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Zogby,
Present.
Ms. De La Vega is absent. Mr. Gonzalez,
Here.
Mr. Marrero,
Present.
Ms. G. Perez,
Present.
Ms. M. Perez is absent, and Mr. Rodriguez is absent. Mr. President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mayor, invocation information?
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone. Buenas noches a todos. Hoy nos honra los miembros. Today we're honored by the members of the Hialeah Faith Board and the chair of the board, Pastor Juan Barak, to lead us in the invocation. Pastor, if you can please help us. Thank you.
Afternoon, Mayor. Okay, I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the City Council, city officials, and everyone present today. It is a great honor, it is a privilege to be here with you. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to all the members of the council for this opportunity. Today, I simply want to remind all of us that leadership is more than a position, it's more than having power. Leadership is a responsibility, leadership is a service. I will read from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. This is what the Bible says. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. These words remind us that we do not have to face every decision alone. Every city has challenges. Every leader has difficult moments, and we have seen that. And sometimes the right decision is not always the best decision. And that is why we need wisdom, we need God, and we need prayer in our city to lead us, to give us the hope to be able to listen, but most of all, to be able to serve. Can we stand, please, so that we can pray? My prayer today is that God will give us wisdom and understanding. Also, to give our mayor the strength that he needs. And to every member of this city council, wisdom for every decision, support for every challenge, and compassion for every person they serve. May we always remember that behind every decision, there are people. There are families, there are children, there are seniors, there are workers, there are people who need hope. And when leaders work together with respect, humility, and a heart of service, the entire community becomes stronger and united. May God continue to bless the mayor, the members of the city council, and all our city employees and every family in our community. And may Hialeah continue to be a city of opportunity, a city of unity, and a city where faith and hope help us build a better future. God bless you all. God bless you, Mayor. God bless the city of Hialeah, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Pastor Barak. Please remain standing as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance, face the flag, and it'll be led by Councilman William Marrero. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for your respect. You may be seated. Thank you, Councilman. Madam Clerk, can you please read the meeting guidelines for tonight?
The following guidelines have been established by the city council. All lobbyists must register with the city clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the council chamber. Any person interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the city council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the city council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Individuals should be respectful of the elected officials and staff and make every effort to speak with a moderate tone using appropriate language and avoiding personal attacks. Member of the public in the audience shall refrain from shouting or making remarks from their seats to the mayor, council members, or staff sitting on the dais. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have some really exciting presentations tonight. The first one being Mayor Calvo and this council will present a recognition to Hialeah's elite dance and cheer teams. Mayor, please take over.
Well, actually, I'm going to call Liz because we have some champions in the house and we're very proud of them and everything that they have been able to accomplish.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and city and members of the community. My name is Lysandra Macias, Parks and Community Engagement Supervisor, address 900 East, 56th Street, Building 4. It is my pleasure to welcome you as we take a moment to recognize our elite cheer and dance teams. Tonight, we celebrate the dedication, hard work, accomplishments these talented athletes. We're so proud to recognize all their achievements throughout the 2025-2026 competition season. We will begin by bringing up Miss Christy Suarez, our cheer coach.
Good evening. Christy Suarez, 2250 West 60th Street.
Thank you.
So this past season was Highly Elite Cheerleading's 2nd season ever. And they did so much. We're so proud of them. I'm going to read to you guys a list of their accomplishments. They started with FCDA's Beach Battle, where Hialeah Elite placed 1st in their division and Hialeah Heat placed 2nd. And then they did the FCDA State Championships, where both teams came back Florida State champions in their division, and Hialeah Elite actually came back overall state champions, beating everybody in the entire session. After that, they competed in their first ever varsity brand competition. For those of you that don't know, varsity is one of the biggest names in cheerleading. And they started with Aloha Spirit in Daytona, where they not only placed 2nd in their division, but they got a bid to compete at probably the biggest competition in recreational cheerleading, the Recreational Summit, where they placed 5th, but they placed 5th against the top teams in the nation. So that was a very big accomplishment. I would also like to mention that they brought home multiple Spirit Awards and Poster Awards, meaning that that's not only a testament to their passion and spirit, but the amazing support system that they have behind them with their parents, their families, their coaches, and our staff. So they had an amazing season, and we can't wait to see what they do this year.
Well, a heartfelt congratulations on behalf of the city of Hialeah. And we want to see those trophies. Can you come up here and come up to the stage so we can see them?
Mayor,
Come on up, come on up.
bring up Ashley really quickly so she can stay with
a lot
the
of them.
dance teachers. Come on, girl.
Please come up.
Yeah. Face the audience really proud. Yeah. Council, can we join them down there? Mr. Marrero, can we join them? Bring your trophy.
We might be taking their spots.
Yeah. Wait for us.
Let's just go. Stand on the corners. Stand in the corners. Oh, no. Give them a round of applause. Go ahead. Dale. Now, presenting our Elite Dance Awards will be Miss Ashley DeChapelle.
Good evening. My name is Ashley DeChapelle. I'm the Performing Arts Coordinator at Gullet Theater, 4200 West 8th Avenue. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce you to the Highly Elite Dance Team. They consist of the little babies all the way to the older girls. This season, our dancers had the incredible opportunity to compete in two major competitions, such as FCDA and Star Power. At FCDA, our dancers delivered an outstanding performance, earning first place and becoming 2 times national champions and top scored performance. When we took the stage at Star Power, we were competed against talented dancers from across the country and internationally. Our dancers continued to shine and earning 2 regional champions, along with first place and second place finishes, and ultimately becoming national champions. Because of their outstanding performance, dedication, and hard work, the Highly Elite Dance Team also received an invitation to compete at Worlds in New Jersey. These accomplishments would not have been possible without the incredible dedication of our dancers, their families, and especially their coach, Ms. Genesis Romero. Coach Genesis has poured her heart, time, passion, and dedication into this team. She has pushed her dancers to believe in themselves, challenged them to become better, and stood by them every step of the way. Her commitment to their growth, both on and off the dance floor, has played a tremendous role in the success of Highly Elite Dance. To our dancers, we are incredibly proud of you. Your hard work, commitment, talent, determination, and passion have brought you to this moment, and you have represented Hialeah with excellence every step of the way.
Girls, please come up at the moment. Can we give them a round of applause, please? They're tiny, the little babies. Okay. Just hold it. Just hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it. Just hold it. Perfect. One, two.
Okay, so now we're moving over to item B, and this is a very special moment to honor our men and women of the Hialeah Fire Department. We'll be presenting the Life Saving Award to the crew members of Rescue 9, the Hialeah Fire Department, for their actions in rescuing 3 individuals from a burning house fire. I'd like to ask Lieutenant Mark Sanchez, firefighter Juan Cabrero, certainly our chief, and firefighter Fernando Rodriguez.
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to give just a quick speech on this crew here. You know, so I have the privilege of recognizing these 3 firefighters here for an action they took that resulted in saving 3 lives. On July 2nd, Lieutenant Mark Sanchez, firefighter Juan Luna, and firefighter Fernando Rodriguez were outside of their assigned district attending to some stretcher repairs that they were doing. While they were going back to their station, Lieutenant Sanchez witnessed a column of smoke in the distance. He contacted dispatch and had asked, was there any calls relating to this fire? Dispatch said no, so instead of assuming somebody else would take care of this, Lieutenant Sanchez and his crew immediately went to investigate this column of smoke. When they arrived, they found a fully working house fire and immediately reported a Code 1 fire. They were being advised that there was people trapped inside of this house. A bystander led them to an efficiency on the side of the residence where 3 women were trapped behind the window of that house with security iron bars. We have those 3 women here tonight. I'll bring them up in a little bit. Lieutenant Sanchez immediately directed his crew to deploy a K-12 rescue saw. Firefighter Luna and Rodriguez went to work right away, cutting through the security bars, removing the 3 women from the smoke-filled structure, and all 3 of them survived because of their actions. What these men did was not luck. It was not a result. It was a result of awareness, experience, training, teamwork, and courage. Lieutenant Sanchez saw something and did not look away. He acted. His crew trusted his leadership. They went to work and they did exactly what Hialeah firefighters are trained to do, save lives. So gentlemen, tonight it's my honor and privilege to recognize you with a life-saving award. Mayor, I'd like to bring up the 3 ladies that they saved from that house fire that night.
The first award will be presented to Lieutenant Mark Sanchez in recognition of your extraordinary performance, decisive leadership, like the chief said, your courageous actions during a residential structure fire that resulted in the successful rescue of these 3 beautiful women standing here beside me. They're here because of your actions, Lieutenant, and we wanted to present this on behalf of the city of Hialeah and a very, very thankful residents of the city of Hialeah. Thank you for your courageousness, and thank you for your leadership. The second award presented to firefighter Juan Cabrero Luna, again, in recognition of your extraordinary performance, decisive leadership, courageous actions during a residential structure fire on July 2nd, 2026, in part of Crew Rescue 7. Again, on behalf of a thankful city, firefighter Juan Cabrero Luna. And last but certainly not least, firefighter Fernando Calzadilla Rodriguez, again in recognition of your extraordinary performance as part of Rescue 7 on July 2nd, 2026. Congratulations to firefighter Rodriguez. Bien, le voy a pedir a las señoritas que fueron rescatadas por estos bomberos, ¿cómo se sintió ver estos hombres tan bonitos y venir a rescatarle en ese día?
Bueno, primero que nada, muchísimas gracias, porque de verdad que si no hubiese sido por ustedes, no estuviéramos aquí ahora. Fue algo emocionante, a la misma vez triste, porque estar trancados ahí adentro sin poder salir y ver que llegaron fue una esperanza de vida. Y nada, de verdad que gracias por haber sacado a mí y a mis hijas de ese momento tan doloroso.
So the good work of the Hialeah Fire Department does not just stay within the boundaries of the city of Hialeah. Today, we are recognizing a very special firefighter who I got to meet personally prior to his deployment, firefighter George Lands with the Hialeah Fire Department, who will be receiving tonight the Deployment Recognition Award. Firefighter Lands was deployed to Venezuela for 9 days with the Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 2, following the earthquakes that affected that country. And we saw the videos online, the sheer devastation. And one of our own, Hialeah firefighter Lance, was deployed. And so he will be receiving this award. Firefighter Lance.
Mayor, if I may really quickly, I'm going to share a brief story on what Lance was doing in Venezuela. So during his mission, George and his team helped rescue a 44-year-old security guard who had been trapped for 8 days beneath a collapsed 10-story parking garage. Okay, that rescue operation lasted 53 hours, the operation. Think about that. That's more than 2 days of difficult and dangerous work to rescue one person still holding on to breath underneath all that rubble. George and his members did not give up. And because of their determination, the result was that man was pulled out alive. So great job, George. I'm proud of you. The city's proud of you. This department's proud of you. Thank you for doing what you do.
Council President is technically challenged. All right. Firefighter George Lands, in recognition of your extraordinary performance and selfless service in deployment of the South Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 2 team in support of earthquake recovery efforts in Venezuela. Again, the saving of a life. Another individual, Venezuelan national, 44 years old, was saved due to your actions. And we are extremely thankful and extremely proud of all your training being put to help someone that wasn't even a member of Hialeah but was saved due to your training, your expertise, and your determination and courageousness. So we are eternally thankful and congratulate you. Thank you. Well, a lot of lives being saved here in the city of Hialeah. So our next item, our next presentation is the recognition of Hialeah lifeguards for their rescue actions on August 4, 2026 at Bucky Dent Pool. These were the lifeguards Juan, Camilo, Tristan, Ryan, Stephanie, and also a Good Samaritan who was at the pool, a U.S. Army veteran, Kevin Palmer. We'd like to ask them to please come to the front.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Willie Sanchez, Parks and Community Engagement, 900 East 56th Street. Mayor, we're very, very proud of these individuals. They always are training for this, just for this thing that happened, and they show their expertise, their training, and their dedication to the city of Hialeah. Very proud of all you guys. The pool business is something that we take very serious, and we appreciate your service to the city of Hialeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, first one up. First one up is Tristan. It reads like this, and the rest are similar. In recognition of your extraordinary courage, your quick thinking, your decisive action in responding to a life-threatening emergency at Bucky Dent Water Park that helped save the life of a member of our community, an 80-year-old resident of our community. Because of your professionalism, your skill, your courageousness, you helped save a life. And for that, on behalf of the city of Hialeah, on behalf of the city council and I as mayor, do extend my most sincere gratitude and appreciation for your service and your commendable actions in the protection of the life of another person. So Tristan. Yeah, these are the good ones. Okay, so Juan Morera, again, in recognition of your extraordinary courage, and Juan's actually the head lifeguard, right? So, you had a very good squad, a very good crew of lifeguards, and because of your leadership and leading that crew, we were able to save a life. So we're eternally grateful, Juan. Camilo, okay, again, recognition of your extraordinary courage. And Camilo was actually the young man that began the CPR efforts and actually got this individual to be saved. So thank you, Camilo. Thank you for what you did and being able to administer that CPR. And I remember the other day when we were at the hospital visiting the resident, some of the doctors actually congratulated you and said, what a great job you had done and really saved his life. So Camilo, congratulations. Okay, we have Ryan. It's kind of like Brian, but a little different. But congratulations again, one of the other lifeguards, part of this team, and that's what it's all about. It was a team effort. All of you played a role. You all had your SOPs and you followed that to the T, and because of that, a life was saved. So Ryan, congratulations. And best for last, Stephanie, congratulations. Stephanie, you're 17 years old, right? A high school student in the city of Hialeah who has a passion for saving lives. We were talking the other day at the hospital. You might want to get into the medical field at some point. So you started here, and everybody that starts Hialeah ends up going very high and achieving great things. So congratulations. You did it at 17. You achieved an amazing feat. Congratulations. And again, so now we're done with the live, and thankfully on that day where a life had to be saved, we had a resident of our city, Mr. Kevin Palmer, who is not only a resident of our city, but a proud teacher and also a former U.S. Army veteran. Because of your quick thinking, your quick action, being able to be in that pool. And a lot of times people will look away. They say somebody else will got it, but you didn't do that. You didn't hesitate. You thrust yourself into the situation and you helped our amazing lifeguards. So Mr. Kevin Palmer, congratulations for taking part in this rescue and thank you for everything that you did. Okay, so it's coming. Kevin's getting $100 after this. But Kevin was also one of our staff members that played an instrumental role. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for everything that you did. Your work matters, right? Our work here matters, and what you did really saved and made a difference. And so again, we're extremely thankful, Kevin. Thank you for everything.
You can tell you got a group of swimmers here. You stand back then.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Make sure it is. If you go to the victims,
Thank you, everyone, for your respect and congratulations again to the best of Hialeah. Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful having them here. Okay, we're up to agenda item 7, comments and questions. Madam Clerk, do we have any registered speakers?
Sir, first, for the record, Council Vice President is present.
Yes. Welcome.
And the first registered speaker is Jessica Artiles.
Please come on up. Jessica Artiles? Hello. Your name and address for the record, and then you have up to 3 minutes, and thank you for coming. Thank you. Oh. Can you help her? It's a lot of material.
Thank you so much. Can I have you help me pass this out, or can I give this to someone to pass out?
Welcome. You can start if you like while she's distributing whatever
I can.
you brought. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Name and address for the record, and you have up to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Officer Zogby. Thank you so much, Hialeah, for being here. Muchas gracias. This is what real citizenship is like. Thank you, Council, for having us. Brian, Mr. Cabo. My name is Jessica Artiles. My address would be 7825 West 6th Avenue, aquí in Hialeah, Florida, 33014. That's actually our headquarters right now for my work that I've been doing for decades now. And the invitation today is to get your support, Council, on how to create a richer headquarters here in Miami, here in Hialeah specifically. So let me start with this. Quick questions. How many of you, and this is for the audience too, okay? Show me your hands if you know a student or two or three, a high school student that is stressing out about college applications right now. Let me see your hands. I see a lot of nodding.
Yeah.
Mom is raising her hand. Awesome. Let me ask you this also. How many of you have felt and seen the destruction of our connection within our communities, within our families, because of the social media algorithms, because of the technology that's taking over? How many of you have seen the destruction? Yeah. We're in a loneliness pandemic and we feel it, right? Now, we actually have some tools for this and we have some remediation. I wanna tell you today about Project Believe, and you can see it on page 3 with me. This is something that we've been rolling out at Matter Academy down the street. We have some of the students that have seen us in action this summer when we were at the art gallery of Miami-Dade College, the Hialeah campus, por supuesto. And Marrero, I want to acknowledge Councilman Marrero, who's been in conversations with us for months now, about how to bring Project Believe to the students. Okay, I'll say it briefly. Project Believe is an ecosystem of support. Now I'm at this age where I need glasses, guys. An ecosystem of support and services for high school students in the college pipeline to get clear and confident on their own self-worth so that they can take themselves to the next level and maximize the return on their entire life's investments. When you get to senior year and you don't feel the confidence that you need to do well on your SAT exams, on your college applications, on your scholarship applications, because that's where you get the money, right? That's where your investment comes through. We now have tools for this. We now have a system of support and of services for this. So I'm leaving you guys with the business plan in your hands. Mayor Calvo, it was such a cool post that you did to invite us to have storefronts in Hialeah that would help bring students to a place. And my idea has been, thank you, I've been working on it with Councilman Marrero for some time now. And I'm inviting you all, please ask me any question that you'd like. I'd love to know how to navigate the beautiful world of Hialeah. I actually started here. This is my first internship. When I was, I meant to say, I started in Hialeah when my parents got here just a few weeks after Hurricane Andrew. And we saw incredible opportunity and we've been working within the city since then. I went, at only 17 years old, I also went to the Northeast like Mayor Calvo. I went to MIT, except I stayed for 14 years studying with the biggest minds and learning about how to help students when they're super hyper stressed.
Ms. Artiles, it's a wonderful presentation. We need you to wrap it up. We've used up our 3 minutes. Is there anything you want to close with?
I love the idea. And by the way, your mom was actually my elementary school Spanish teacher. So very proud, Hialeah roots. And I think Brianna is right outside from my office. She's wearing the white blouse. She's leading the Palm Center initiative.
Yeah.
She can get you the information to put in an application, and now absolutely we will consider it. We've had a lot of interest. Over 300 people have applied, and so we're very excited. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and we're going to try to do the best we can with limited spots we have. But Brianna, if you can just raise your hand, if you can connect with her, she'll get you the application, no problem.
That would be amazing.
And thank you for coming down.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. I always knew I was coming back. I think like you too, Mr. Brian Calvo. Mayor. It's so weird to call you Mayor, but I love it. I was at your inauguration earlier this year, and I was like, doing it right. You guys, I've never been more proud to be from Hialeah. Thank you so much, Council.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next registered speaker,
Barbara Canales.
Ms. Canales. And as always, Ms. Canales, your full name and address, and then you have up to 3 minutes, my dear.
Okay, Barbara Canales, 1681 West 68th Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33014. Can you show me the first, that one, bigger, like exactly? There we go. Oh, I can start. Oh, sorry. Honorable Brian Calvo, these are the pictures that I went and knocked to my neighbors door by door from the previous administration of City of Hialeah, because they wanted to convert Hialeah as well into parallel parking. And all these people, they said no. We are against it because of the chaos. Starting when you turn around the corner, that's what you see. Those trucks, it's a strip mall. Just look at the truck, look at the yellow line. Anybody can see the yellow line? That's built for a compact car only. Number two, behind that distribution truck, there is a gas. It's huge. Can you see that behind the truck? It's a tic-tac waiting to happen. Luckily, I saw we have good firefighters, and the first one to go will be the building, but then it will be my block. So please remove those trucks from that strip mall. Even it says that strip mall, not commercial parking lot. Those two are there Monday through Friday, day and night. I guess the company is not doing well because they don't move at all. It's either Vicky Bakeries or Distribution Dessert. Please have them remove. Number two, next picture, please. That's how pathetic I am. How pathetic. I'm so pathetic that this is what I'm fighting for. Since 2022, it has never, Hialeah as well, the lawless land, looked like that, ever. And before 2022, that's how it used to look. In front of my house, and those 2 blocks from West 16th Avenue to West 19th Court, empty. The only few cars, like from my block, 21 townhouses, you got 4, 2 homeowners and 2 tenants, terrible tenants, that park there. From West 17th Court to 19th Court, 42, I think, townhouses, the same. Mostly 5 cars that they always park there. 5. It does not, can you show me the next picture, please? It does not, never look like that. There we go. And this is slapping in my face to find out that those cars belongs to Link Construction Company. That's where they go and park.
Thank you, Ms. Canales.
Can you please, the last one, just give me a minute.
Yes, go ahead.
Go all the way to the last one. I'm sorry, all the way to the last one. Like, yeah, all the way to the last one. There we go, stop. That's West 14th Avenue, around the corner of 1420, where the construction is happening. Why they don't park there? Because they're home in my townhouse. I'm a shop believer. They're home. Nobody parks there. Right around the corner of the construction. That's a slap in my face. Please stop with the employees work. I'm going to contact, I already contact Link Construction Company,
Thank you, Ms.
but I will send them the pictures that you just saw.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Have a good night, my dear. Next, registered speaker, Madam Clerk.
Sofia Estrada and Xavier Valdez.
Sofia Estrada, Xavier Valdez, come on up. Xavier Valdez. Okay.
Sorry.
The first speaker, I guess, is Sofia Estrada. Can you give us your complete name and address, and then you have up to 3 minutes?
Yes, hi. My
Thank
name is
you.
Sophia Estrada, 2500 West 56th Street.
Mhm.
33016.
Thank you.
And I am the outreach director for the Cultivo initiative. So I've always spoken English and Spanish. And although I always spoke English and Spanish, I lived in 2 different countries. And although I was always great at math and language and I excelled in most subjects, I did lack some social skills because I saw that the kids didn't really understand why I had lived in 2 different countries, why I had lived in North and South America. And so throughout my life, I was always in 2 different poles, and I was criticized for not assimilating one culture or the other respectively. Instead of completely assimilating one culture, I decided to incorporate both into my identity, into the things I bake, into the way I am. And so I chose to adapt. And today we have the Cultivo initiative, which is my way of making many immigrants feel welcome and my way of telling them that we can create a community where we can collide and all learn and thrive with the English language.
Young man, I need your name and address as well, and then you go on. If you're going to share it, then
Yeah,
you've
we're
got a
gonna
minute and a half left. Go ahead.
My name is Xavier Valdez. My address is 2403 West 76th Street, apartment 110.
Thank you.
I serve as the Material and Awareness Director at Cultivo. One of our biggest inspirations for founding Cultivo was our background. Personally, I came to the United States when I was 8 years old, arriving at a country with a completely different dialect, Cuba. Over the next few years, assimilation to the language was an uphill battle, with the vocabulary and forced participation in class consuming me with fear and embarrassment. Although I was able to learn the language and know about the beauty of English, at many times I felt like giving up on this battle to understand English. At many times I felt like I needed more help. At many times I felt like I needed my own Cultivo. This exact thought is a thought going through many immigrants' minds, and this is the very same thought that led to the creation of our initiative, helping others access resources that I couldn't access to level the uphill battle for all. In a community like Hialeah, where English literacy rates amongst immigrants are behind other communities nationwide, it is important to level this challenge that learning English poses to many. And through Cultivo, I want to grade that path to learning English from an uphill battle to a walk in the park. We are here today giving the speech to ask for your help to shape a better community, your help to build a better future for all the residents of Hialeah. Cultivo hopes that the city of Hialeah can provide contacts to local organizations and directly partner us on social media to gain more attention and new learners.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, you can find us at Cultivo English on Instagram.
Say it. I want to hear the website clearly so that everybody watching can, and it'll go in it. Where can they
Yes.
contact it?
We are Cultivo English on Instagram, and you will find our handle for our website and our Gmail there.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for everything that you do.
Very intelligent young man and woman. Thank you. Pleasure having you here. Any other registered speaker?
Yes, Hansel Keudeles.
Welcome, sir. Full name and address for the record, and you have up to 3 minutes, sir.
Hansel Caudales.
Caudale. Bien.
Caudales.
Gracias.
631 West 50th Street, Hialeah, Florida, 33012.
Yes, sir.
That's my zip code. Well, good evening. My name, as I said, is Hansel Caudales. And before I begin my remarks, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your great service to the city of Hialeah and for all the work that you do on behalf of our community. I'm here today to express my support for Yaneth Del Carmen Baez for Miami-Dade County Circuit Court Judge. She's in Group 69, and you can find her on the ballot with the number 128. I've had the opportunity to see firsthand her dedication to public service, her commitment to our community, and the experience she brings as a prosecutor. Yaneth has been with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office for more than 9 years, and she has served as the chief for the Misdemeanor and Domestic Violence Unit. She currently works as a prosecutor for the Human Trafficking Unit, which is a small task that has a lot of police officers, prosecutors, and experts in the field. Last year in 2025, she was selected as the prosecutor of the year for the Human Trafficking Division in the state of Florida. So she has a lot of experience, a lot of passion for her judicial role, and I believe she's more than qualified to serve from the bench. She's got the experience, the integrity, and the judgment to serve our community well. I'd love to have the chance to say this in Spanish as well for some of our members here.
You have up to 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Buenas tardes, como dije, mi nombre es Hansel Caudales y estoy aquí hoy para expresar mi apoyo a la fiscal Janet del Carmen Báez para jueza de la Corte del Circuito del Condado de Miami-Dade. Ella está en el grupo 69 y he tenido la oportunidad de conocer de primera mano su dedicación a nuestra comunidad, todo el apoyo que le ha brindado a los interns que están en la Corte, como yo, en la pasantía, y he visto de primera mano a todos los abogados que ella ha entrenado a través de sus años de experiencia, que ya son más de 50 abogados que están también sirviendo a nuestra comunidad. Y entonces me enorgullece muchísimo apoyar a su candidatura y los invito a cada uno de ustedes a que puedan ver su biografía online, a apoyar su campaña y recordarles que las elecciones están pasando ahora mismo desde hasta el día 16 y también pueden ir a votar en persona el día 18. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo.
Repite otra vez el nombre de la candidata a la jueza, bien claro.
La candidata se llama Janet del Carmen Báez y ahora mismo es una fiscal y se está postulando para ser jueza del condado de Miami-Dade County. Muchas gracias.
Thank you for coming, Hansel.
Thank you for giving me the chance. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next.
Francisca Encalada.
Francisca Encalada. Venga. ¿Cómo no? Necesito
Uy,
cuando
a ver.
estés ready su nombre y tienes hasta 3 minutos. ¿Ok?
Gracias.
¿Cómo no?
Una dicha conocerlos a todos, verlos, al alcalde especialmente. Y esto me da un poquito de pena que no es para venir a agradecer.
Usted me puede repetir, tiene que venir de ti tu nombre y tu dirección completa y siga después.
31 East, 10 Place, Hialeah, Florida, 33010.
Gracias.
Francisca Aurora Encalada.
Gracias, mi amor. Sigue.
Y Alba Vázquez, somos las dueñas de la casa. Mi hija. Entonces, hace años se inundaba mucho Hialeah, ya no tenemos inundaciones. Frente a mi casa pusieron unos tubos muy grandes y arreglaron el parterre muy bonito y nació un pino. Yo no lo corté, yo lo dejé. En este año, en el mes de febrero creo, le cayó un rayo que nos dejó sin luz la casa en dos, la de afuera y el cuarto de mi nieta. Y se quemó el pino. Yo llamé al código, que me enteré cómo era, y me dijeron que tienen prioridades y que el pino no lo podían mandar a cortar.
Yeah, what's her address? Repite.
941 East 10th Place.
You want to refer to somebody? Please. Siga.
Entonces,
East.
el pino se está secando, cayendo de rama a rama y está muy alto y posiblemente tape la calle cuando se caiga y le caiga a la vecina de al frente. Es lo que pienso y es lo que les venía a hacer saber.
Es para avisarnos que evitemos esa calle nosotros. Who do you want to refer
No,
to?
es que no se va a caer.
Gracias por el aviso.
Bueno,
Ya tenemos la dirección.
tienen prioridades.
Sí, no, esta es una prioridad, no se
Es
preocupe.
una prioridad para nosotros. Ya tenemos la dirección 941 East 10 Place y ya
Gracias.
ya está en la lista.
Deseo las 2 S, suerte y salud.
Gracias.
Gracias, mi vida.
Qué
Gracias.
bonito. Gracias.
Next registered speaker, Madam Clerk.
There are no more, sir, but I believe the gentleman and the lady in the front, they did not register, but they're asking to speak.
You want to speak? Yes. Come on up. All I need is your full name, your address, and you have up to 3 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Buenas tardes, señor alcalde, señor presidente y demás staff. Mi nombre es Félix Serrano.
Félix Serrano.
Sí, Félix Serrano.
Gracias.
Yo no vivo en la ciudad de Hialeah, pero tenemos en la familia un par de edificios en la ciudad. Mi dirección es 13046 Northwest, 9 calle, Miami, Florida, 33182.
Esa es tu dirección personal.
Sí.
Sí, no las propiedades aquí. Adelante.
Ok. La compañía se llama Segar Enterprises Incorporated. Es la compañía que administra 2 edificios de la familia de nosotros. Están situados los edificios el 1215 Southeast, 9 Avenida de Hialeah, y edificio 930 Southeast, 12 calle en Hialeah. Los problemas son los siguientes, señor alcalde. Existe vandalismo a los vehículos de los inquilinos en ambos edificios. Robos continuos de paquetes de Amazon, FedEx, UPS y USPS. Invasión de apartamentos, los cuales están en reparación, otros no están alquilados, los invaden constantemente. Luego, vandalismo dañado en la pintura general de los edificios, rompiendo ventanas, lanzando botellas y aguacates del árbol que se encuentra en el edificio. Abriendo incluso los buzones del correo en varias ocasiones. Rompiendo los vehículos, fumando marihuana constantemente en los pasillos del edificio y el estacionamiento. Luego, estas personas están robando vehículos y dejándolos parqueados dentro del estacionamiento de ambos, que se comparte un estacionamiento para los 2 edificios. Luego, en una ocasión, nos apuntaron al manager y a mí con una pistola. El individuo fue arrestado. La ciudad de Hialeah tiene la denuncia sobre este hecho, así como otras denuncias más. En horas de la noche hasta la madrugada ocurren y le han caído golpes al manager en varias ocasiones. Amenazas constantes de estos muchachos que son menores de edad y viven en el bloque 1200 Southeast de la Nueva Avenida. 3 casas antes del edificio nuestro que hace esquina. Es un albergue para muchachos que están desamparados.
Sí, conocemos el local.
Sí, entonces esto es constante. Ya no
Ya.
sabemos qué hacer.
Ya.
Nos agreden. Yo le he dicho al manager, no bajes cuando estén ahí, no los enfrentes, pero es que él se siente como que defender a todo el mundo.
Ya.
Bueno, eso es todo.
Bueno, el jefe de policía aquí puede hablar unas palabras. Estamos muy enterados, ¿no?, de la situación. Es un negocio sin fines de lucro que obviamente trabaja con estos niños y les da esfuerzos de psicología, consejería, todo tipo del servicio.
Sí.
Pero el jefe de policía puede dar unos comentarios ahora sobre el tema porque ya hemos hecho algunos avances para tratar de remediar la situación.
You want a mic, Chief? No. You want okay. Yeah, that's fine. Gracias, Serrano.
Gracias. Yes.
¿Cómo no?
Good evening, George Fuente, 5555 East 8th Avenue. The property the gentleman is talking about is called Kiva. It's over there in Southeast 9th Avenue. And I know that the city legal, along with our commander, has had meetings with Kiva management in regards to the calls for service that we've been receiving from that location throughout the years. We've now established where extra duty officer will be at that site for an extended amount of time, where compared to previous years, we didn't have officers, and we had some for probably the last year and a half, for a short amount of time, just to offset the amount of calls for service that our patrol officers will have to respond to, because it requires a lot of man hours when they're filing missing persons reports and recoveries. So that's the issue with that. That officer is just there to basically write reports. We do receive a lot of calls for service from them. We have incidents where we've been documenting individuals that are living there that are being arrested for crimes that are committed within that area. They're allowed to come and go through certain times, and that's just legally what they're allowed to do. We can't prevent them from exiting that establishment or that home, but that's something that we've been dealing with. I know the mayor's been involved with it also. We're going to continue trying to see how we could improve I'll speak to the gentleman outside and let them know that obviously anytime they have any incident or they see something that's suspicious, to please call us and we'll be responding. But the commander in that area is well aware of what's going on, and we're going to continue trying to improve what's going on and documenting those incidents.
Thank you, Chief. En sumario en español, básicamente yo me he reunido con esa identidad que se llama Kiva. El jefe y sus comandantes también se han reunido. Sabemos del problema, es una cosa que ha existido por años, ¿no? En esa localidad, pero estamos haciendo hincapié, reuniéndonos con ellos, tratando de mejorar la situación para agregar el oficial que esté ahí permanentemente, ¿no? Enfrente del negocio a todas horas del día para tratar de prevenir estas cosas que están de vandalismo que están ocurriendo. Estamos limitados de ciertas formas porque el negocio puede operar en la ciudad, tiene los permisos para operar, simplemente obviamente trae ciertas personas, ¿no? Al vecindario y también las amistades, ¿no? que tienen esas personas. So, estamos haciendo todo lo posible dentro de los confines de la ley, pero sé que estamos con nuestro departamento también de negocio tratando de tener esas conversaciones constantemente para mejorar las condiciones y sí sé que han podido reducir el número de niños, ¿no? que están en el lugar a solamente 6. So, antiguamente era creo que más de 15, ahora está mucho menos el nivel. Son cosas que más o menos pueden ayudar al tema lo más posible para tratar de remediar esa situación. Pero muchas gracias por su paciencia y el jefe va a hablar con ustedes ya después afuera. Si tienen cualquier otra situación, le podemos ayudar. ¿Ok? No, yo lo he visto, es muy feo. Y nosotros mandamos nuestros camiones tratar de limpiar un poco del graffiti, tratar de recoger un poco la basura, pero es constante. Es constante.
Yo tengo el edificio enfrente,
Yeah.
totalmente lleno de basura.
Yeah.
Fotograma, grafite en el edificio,
Sí.
cemento, todo que pintar, no me da tiempo a pintar ni hacer nada.
Yeah.
Me rompen los letreros de salida de emergencia.
Ujú.
Inclusive,
Es
ahora
difícil,
tengo
bien
muchachos que,
difícil.
por ejemplo, hablaban, y la semana siguiente lo tengo saltando
I know.
la cerca, tirando aguacate y botella.
Yeah.
Ve con el jefe. You want to meet him in the hallway? Serrano, él te va a encontrar en el pasillo.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Ok, gracias.
Pasen buenas noches. Gracias. Anyone, nobody online? Nobody else from the audience? Yes, sir. Elite super dad, cheer dad, very good. Good evening. Give me your full name and address, please, and you have up to 3 minutes.
Armando
Thank you.
Morejón, address is 1130 East Fifth Avenue, Hialeah 33010.
Thank you, sir. Go on.
Mayor, council members, thank you. I'm sorry I'm informal. I was here celebrating my daughter's achievement today and I saw everybody was coming up to talk. It's the first time I sit in a city council meeting and hear that how people come and actually talk to you guys. Well, I wanted to ask you guys for a little bit of help. Our girls are thriving. It is a program that's been doing excellent. My daughter's been a part of it for 4 years. I've had some council members come and support us individually. But this is the first year that I've noticed that either budgeting has changed or shifted, or that the city is probably growing, or the program is growing faster than the budget can hold. And the girls are actually going to be struggling this year to do their competitions outside of the city. As we do travel more and more, us parents are seeing it become more difficult for us to actually collect the funds that we do need. And this year in particular is going to be a pretty big one. I mean, we have a fundraising being done for about 20,000 just to get the girls to their competitions, and that doesn't even cover our parent expenses for the traveling costs and everything. In other seasons, we've done fundraising for parent expenses, and this year our main focus is going to be just getting the girls there. So if there's any way possible, again, I'm completely informed. I didn't have anything prepared, but I thought I'd come and speak up a little bit real quick and say that if there's any way that anybody can kind of encourage the city, or what I don't know what the city can do, but
Absolutely. Your concern is well noted. This is actually the time right now, which is very timely because we're building the budget for next year's, we go on fiscal year. So it's not the calendar year, the fiscal year, which ends now September 30th, and then October 1st would be the start of the next fiscal year. So in this moment is when we're crafting that budget, looking at all those things. So your concern is well taken, well noted. We'll try to do the best we can, obviously, with the funds that we have available. But, congratulations to the kids, and they do a fantastic job, and they're winning so much. And obviously that raises the expenses, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure they can keep performing at the levels that they're doing. We're very proud of them.
I am as well, and I appreciate it. So
Thank you.
anything that the city can do, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so
Mr.
much.
Morejón. Have a great night. I think that about completes the comments and questions, Madam Clerk. Item 8, announcement of amendments and corrections to the agenda.
There's
Any?
none, sir.
None. Okay, no board appoint, yes, there is a board appointment. 9A, can you read it into the record, Madam Clerk?
Proposed resolution appointing Alyssa Marie Rivas to the Youth Advisory Committee as Mayor Brian Calvo's appointment for a 2-year term beginning on August 11th, 2026 and ending on August 10th, 2028.
Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa's a student at Matter Academy Charter High School. She has a 3.8 GPA. She's ranked top % of her class. She's on the softball team, National Honor Society, FBLA, and even the cooking club. So I think she'll make a great addition to our growing Youth Advisory Board, and I ask for her approval. Thank you.
Pleasure of the council.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman William Marrero,
Second.
second by Councilman Louis Gonzalez. Please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you.
Through the
Item, yes, ma'am.
through the chair, I just wanted to make a request to city clerk. Is there any way we can just get an active listing of any boards that are not active and what seats are open so we can
Sure.
make sure these boards are up and running?
Good
Sure.
idea.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. Consent agenda. Is there anyone of my colleagues up here in the dais who want to pull any of the items in consent agenda?
Through the chair.
Yes,
Item
sir.
M
Item N for Marrero.
from Marrero. Yes, sir.
Okay, item N. Any others? Willie or anyone else?
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to, before we vote on the consent agenda,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know there is several items on infrastructure and asset management and the selection committee. Is there anything we can kind of go over that? Who picked them? What is this project for?
I mean, if you want, you can maybe pull
Because it's-
one of the items, but basically, in a nutshell, it's all of these are basically in response to an RFP or an RFQ. And essentially, these are vendors that we would have available at our disposal. It's by category, so whether it's architecture, engineering, or what have you. And then there's 3 companies that are selected in each one of the categories. So what we're doing today is we're simply approving these vendors as responsive to the RFQ so that they're available for our use once we need them for whatever project. Obviously, at that moment, if we do select a vendor for a particular project, then that item would separately come in front of the council for the approval of the expenditure. But this is just to basically sign them up as vendors in response to the RFQ. We need to have a vendor pool in case we need to do some sort of professional service in this space, architecture, engineering services, et cetera, et cetera.
And if I may, just further. through the
Yes, ma'am.
chair. And Councilwoman, in regards to the projects that the vendors from this pool end up being engaged for, the city has in fact prepared, the law department has prepared contracts, which would essentially be 3-year contracts with 2 one-year automatic renewals. And based on the expenditure for each one of those projects, it would then, as the mayor indicated, would come to y'all for vote.
Okay, thank you.
You good? You good?
Yes.
Madam? Thank you. Anyone from the audience interested in pulling any items from consent agenda? Otherwise, except for item M, pleasure of the council on the entire remaining consent
Motion.
agenda?
Wait,
Motion?
sorry, I would like to
Yes,
pull
ma'am.
double O.
Double O for Vice President Melinda De La Vega. Has no of it here. I'm running out of pages. Okay. Any other?
Second the motion.
Who was the first motion?
Marrero.
William Marrero, first motion, and Luis Gonzalez, a second. And Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed except items M and double O.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you read consent agenda M into the record?
Proposed resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee and the city clerk as a testing witness on behalf of the city to enter into a proposed agreement between the city of Hialeah and IUSA Partners Incorporated, doing business as IUSA Water, Attached here to and referenced herein as Exhibit A for the implementation of a citywide pilot program for approximately 180 days to demonstrate the feasibility of an advanced metering infrastructure program featuring 175 to 225 ultrasonic smart water meters to be installed and tested throughout the city. The program will be at no cost on the part of the city and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Councilman Marrero, you have the floor.
Just have a couple quick questions. How many companies currently are participating in the pilot program?
So this would be, and by the way, thank you for pulling the item. This would be the fourth company that we would be authorizing to engage in the pilot program. We already have three. The first one that already installed meters was Badger. So those meters are already live. We've had a lot of success in the sense that we're seeing that information, that data live. We can see even detecting some leaks right in the system. So the technology thus far, obviously it's premature, but it's early, but thus far it's working well. On Monday, we're going to begin with the second company to begin the actual installations, which is Core & Main. Again, all of these companies have already, we've sent out letters to the homeowners. We've, had meetings and different things to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So they'll begin that installation as well. And then Sustainability, which is the third company that would be next in line. We're basically trying to stagger it so that it falls on the billing cycle so that when we get the numbers, we can compare with the old data. And then in regards to IUSA, again, it's just another company in the industry that has basically agreed to the same parameters as the other ones, which is to provide these meters for free between 175 and 225 in their technology, and see again which one ends up being the most effective. So that's where we're at.
So every time when we're adding a company, are we adding 180 days to the pilot? Like, do we have
No,
a
so
timeline?
so from the day they start, the day they start the installation, it's 180 days for them to basically run their system, right? So obviously we sort of staggered the three companies, and then this one again, it would be the same thing. Once we approve, then we have the initial pre-meetings. Once we tell them, hey, you're good to go, then the clock at that moment would start for that company, specifically the 180 days.
Got it. And do we know by when we'll be making a decision collectively as to what?
Well, I think basically we would want all the companies to finish. And then at that moment, we'd want to come before the council, present that information to you guys, and then we'll have to make sort of a joint decision as to, obviously the first option is not go digital, right? Just stay with the analog technology. The second option is, okay, we're going to go digital. Which one of these companies work the best technology-wise? And then aside from technology-wise, the costs, right? And some of these companies are a little different than others. Some require you to purchase the meters outright. Others basically lease you the meter. So there's different things, right? It's a lot of things that we'll have to take into determination, but we wanted to see the technology, how it works out in the real world first before being sold on just, we have the greatest product, but then, it doesn't turn out that way. So that's why we're doing it like this.
Okay, got it. And is there like a ETA or do we know more or less like?
Yeah. So we're putting, I think probably in the beginning of next year, in the first few months of the next year, first quarter, I would say would be a realistic time to make that decision.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Perfect. Motion.
Thank you. We have a motion from Councilman Marrero and a second from Councilman Luis Gonzalez. Please call the roll on item M.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you read consent item 00 into the record? Thank you.
Proposed resolution authorizing the mayor, his designee, and the city clerk as attesting witness on behalf of the city to increase purchase order number 100000420 issued to GS and EMA USA Construction Corporation for supplementary site improvements to be performed at the city's reverse osmosis plant in the amount of $275,000 in substantial conformity with the agreement attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A, authorizing the mayor, his designee, and the city clerk as attesting witness on behalf of the city to issue and execute a separate purchase order to GS and EMA USA Construction Corporation for budgeted annual major capital modifications in the amount not to exceed $70,000, which is inclusive of a $12,235.64 contingency amount, and authorizing the mayor or his designee and the city clerk as a testing witness on behalf of the city to issue and execute a separate purchase order for reimbursement costs incurred by GS Anima USA Construction Corporation for the membrane replacement work performed at the city's reverse osmosis plant in the amount not to exceed $740,000, which is inclusive of a $3,099.38 contingency amount for a total cumulative expenditure in an amount not to exceed $5,835,000, subject to a 50% reimbursement from Miami-Dade County and providing for an effective date.
Wow. Madam Vice President, yeah, read it again. Madam Vice President, you have the floor.
Yes, so I just had some questions on this, specifically on kind of if somebody can walk me through the additional 275,000.
So I don't know if Kevin's here, but I can basically walk you through it. So we went over to the facility, the reverse osmosis plant. The way the technology works, reverse osmosis, is the water passes through these membranes. And these membranes are the ones that go ahead and filter the water before we obviously send it out into the system. So obviously there's a shelf life. After some time, it's like a filter, like any other filter that has to get replaced. So those were replaced already by the company. So we're under contract with the company that they perform basically the running of the facility. And that's the cost you see there, the $275,000. Half of that amount was actually paid by Miami-Dade County, and we pay the other half. But the way this is written, we basically approve the full expense, but we're only actually pay out half of it. And again, it's part of the upkeep, the regular upkeep of the facility. This will not necessarily increase any production, but just basically upkeep, making sure the facility is still running. We are obviously looking at the facility. I've actually directed a memo at our water department and making sure that we get basically an analysis done of the water plant and see exactly what our path forward is going to be. Is this something that we want to keep for the future? Is this something that we want to maybe invest more money and try to increase the production, right? And that's going to be millions of dollars. Or is this something that, we might want to get out of this plan as quickly as possible? So there's a lot of options that we have to consider. So that analysis is being done currently, but this is the regular maintenance of the facility. At the same time, you should know, one of the issues that we saw in the beginning when we got in is that the wells, there's 4 wells located on site. The wells have been used so heavily without the proper resting that a lot of the wells are drying up. And that is what's causing a lot of the decrease in production that we're seeing. The production right now is like 6.7 million gallons a day. It should be a lot higher than that. It should be over 10 million. So there was some wells that were dug back in 2020, but that nobody hooked them up. So they were just kind of sitting out there. So that's what we've been working on the last 6 months, getting those wells up and running. My understanding is that we're at the cusp of those being able to be connected. We're just waiting on a few minor things. And once those are connected, then we'll be able to put our wells at rest, the ones that we're currently using, switch over to the new ones. That should help a little bit in the production. And then with enough and sufficient rest, we can connect all the wells so that we can go back to the production that was supposed to be delivered by that facility. So there's a lot going on with the reverse osmosis plant, but really the deeper question is going to be, what the future of that plant is. We still owe $37 million on the bond, right? We owe money on that plant. We're under contract with the company that runs the plant, and that contract is until 2030. So if we wanted to get out of it before that, there's a $3 million penalty just to get out of the contract. So there's a lot of things going on. Dade County, they're in the plant half with us. So we can't make the decision solely by ourselves. We need the county also to buy into whatever we do. So it's complicated, but we're working on it the best way that we can right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Motion from Council Vice President De La Vega.
Second.
Second from Councilman Willie Marrero. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Okay, we're moving on to item 11, administrative items. Item A is postponed until the second meeting of this month. Would you like to read it into the record anyway? No, I'm not serious about that. Item B, Madam Clerk, please.
Proposed resolution authorizing the mayor, his designee, and the city clerk as a testing witness on behalf of the city to execute a brownfield site rehabilitation agreement and site access agreement with Miami-Dade County, Florida, to include city-owned real property located at 3620 West 104th Street and 10100 West 36th Avenue, Hialeah, Florida, and identified as folio number 04201700200030 in Hialeah Heights, the annex, and appointing the city council of the city of Hialeah, Florida as the Brownsfield Advisory Committee and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
I'll just recap what this is. For those of you who joined us at the town hall that we had in the annex Hialeah Heights area, these are some of the steps that we were talking about that we needed to get to. So we already designated the site as the Brownsfield. The council did that back in January. We retained the council that's helping us with that. And so this is some of the next steps that are going to happen concurrently, which is us entering into agreement with Miami-Dade County, what they call the rehab agreement. And then we were also designating what's called the Brownsfield Advisory Committee. The Brownsfield Advisory Committee is the one that will receive the reports from our environmental consultants and then be able to make a decision as to how to remedy the site and how much money that's going to cost and all those things. The Brownsfield Advisory Committee is going to be ourselves. So it'll be the council and myself as mayor. So we're just appointing ourselves, creating this committee, and then we will have to have some meetings as a Brownsfield Advisory Committee to go over all this information separately, and then we can make those determinations. And this is all part of the Florida law that regulates Brownsfield. So we're just following that process.
Any questions or pleasure of the council on
Motion.
item B? Motion from
Second.
Councilman William Marrero,
Second.
second from Council Vice President De La Vega. Please call the roll on item B.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, item C, please.
First reading of proposed ordinance amending Chapter 1 entitled General Provisions of the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances, creating Section 1-14 to be entitled Advertisement and Notice by Publication, to provide for publication of legally required advertisements and notices on a publicly accessible county website, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for inclusion in code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item C is on first reading. Pleasure of the council. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion from Councilman Luis Gonzalez.
Second.
B. Second from Councilman William Marrero. Thank you. Please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Marrero?
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 25th, 2026.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, administrative item D, please.
First reading of proposed ordinance providing for an ad hoc legislative advisory board to review the city charter prior to the 2029 decennial review and make recommendations as to possible amendments to the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances and other legislative matters, providing for the composition of the board, establishing the board's term, organization, duties and responsibilities, and staffing, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Administrative item D is a first reading ordinance. Any questions or pleasure of the council?
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
On this board, who will fill this board? Like what experience legislatively?
So
Because
the
this
way
is a
we-
legislative board, so I want to.
Sure. The way we created this, and I guess, well, first question is the purpose of the board, so people are aware. We want to have a group of people that meet at least once a month and go through our code of ordinances. You've seen a lot of the complaints that we're sort of getting is, well, this ordinance has existed for all this time and, it wasn't enforced. So we want a group to meet and to go through and read line by line, and our law department is going to prepare those presentations so that we can be more informed of what's actually in the code, and is there anything that we don't agree with and we need to update and we need to clean up, or are there things that, you know, we thought were in there and are not in there and we want to add. So that's the purpose of this committee. Typically, that's done every 10 years. The last one was done back in 2019. But there's nothing that prevents us from doing it sooner than the mandatory 10-year mark, which would be in 2029. So we're basically doing it sooner. The committee will only be around for 1 year. They will meet once a month, again, with this very specific goal. And then at the end of the 1 year, prepare a report and recommendation to basically see what changes we want to make at the end of that 1 year period. Now, the way this is structured is that we're all out, you know, part of the board, or able to be part of the board as mayor and as the council. But if you, for whatever reason, would prefer somebody else to sit in your place, you're able to do that, and you're able to appoint somebody to fill your seat, so to speak, or it could be yourself. So whatever way you want to do it is fine. These meetings will be public meetings, open to the public. We'll follow all those protocols, but law will help us basically divide up into 12 chunks our code of ordinances, and then, you know, go chunk by chunk at least once a month. We'll probably have to do that during the day. So obviously I know everybody has their own commitment. So we just wanted to make it as flexible as possible.
And I just want to further clarify
Yes,
that the
ma'am.
mayor or his designee will serve as the chair of the board, but myself and another one of the attorneys from the law department will be present at all meetings and in order to guide the process.
And then those recommendations will be brought up
To the
to
council.
City
the council.
Yeah, for a
Okay,
formal.
perfect. Thank you. I like that idea. Motion.
Motion from Council Vice
Second.
President and De La Vega, and second from Councilman Luis Gonzalez. Please call the roll.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Marrero,
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez.
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 25th, 2026.
Thank you. Administrative item E, Madam Clerk, please.
First reading of proposed ordinance amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration, Article 2 entitled Departments, Offices, and Divisions, Division 8 entitled Finance Management Department of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hialeah, specifically by amending Section 2-236 to establish a Grants Administration Division, and creating Section 2-241 to be entitled Grants Administration Division, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for inclusion in code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Item E is on first reading. Questions or pleasure of the council?
Basically, what this is it's it's an administrative thing, but we're creating an official grants division within the finance department here in the city. Basically, so people understand the history. We used to have a grants department in the city. That grants department was at some point renamed the Housing and Community Services department, which is similar, but it's different. A grants department is there to seek out money and seek out funds that are available. Housing and Community Services Division, they just manage existing grants that we've already been awarded, and they just sort of manage those grants. We have one person right now in the entire city of Hialeah within the administrative side, and then we have one person in police, and that's it in terms of trying to seek out grants. There's some, individuals within our city that they're proactive and they go above and beyond and they try to get grants throughout their respective departments. But what we need really is a consolidated grants team that is constantly, their 9 to 5 is to seek out money for us. And, we've sort of outlined a vision and what that would look like. You'll see more of it when we get to the budget discussions, but there's almost $150 million out there in grants that we're just not tapping into because we don't have the proper mechanism. So that's what we're trying to create with this. We understand that there's, Amendment 3 is going to be on the ballot now in November. If that passes, which I think it will, and we'll talk about more of this in the budget discussions, but we will see revenues sharply decline for the city, upwards of $25-28 million. And so when those things happen, we need to be prepared, and we need to be thinking from now on, how are we going to fill those gaps in the budget? So in order to do that, one of our ideas or one of our strategies is to increase the amount of effort that we put into writing grants and getting those grants approved. So that is what we're considering here today. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Any more questions or any questions for item E?
Motion.
Pleasure of the council. Motion from Councilman William Marrero.
Second.
Second from Councilman Luis Gonzalez. Please call the roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Marrero,
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 25th, 2026.
Thank you. Item 12, unfinished business. Should I call item 13 new business?
Through the chair.
Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you. I have a couple of items that I would like to discuss. First item will be, I would like for parks, construction, streets, and public works to give the city council a monthly capital project report. I think it's important for us to be informed because we get phone calls from our residents and sometimes they ask us, oh, which street is being fixed next? So, and we are really not in the loop. So I believe it's important that we get a monthly report here at the council from these departments so we can be, have a better understanding what's going on.
Wholeheartedly agree, and I believe they're working on a tracker now so that we can share that with the council and you can see, what this project status is by department. I think it's an excellent idea. Absolutely.
Okay. Second item, and I know you and I have
ma'am.
discussed this. In the charter, this has to do with zoning. Is Claudia here? We have a downtown urban center. Now that we're going to be amending or expanding our charter and reviewing it, I believe that we need to look into the item that has to do with the downtown urban center is the only area that the zoning has the authority over the exterior paint and colors of the buildings. I like us to look at expanding the authority, especially for commercial properties along our main corridors. So we have a better, the city to look prettier and we don't have a building looking orange and another building looking brown. And we have more authority over the corridors, especially for commercial properties. So, yeah.
If I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Just so Councilwoman Perez is aware, Councilwoman Monica Perez had asked from the legal department about 2 months ago, I would say,
Okay.
for an opinion as to whether or not the city could move forward with such a project. And I'll be sure to circulate that opinion
Oh,
to
okay,
you
I didn't know.
and to all council members, and then we
I
could-
think it's important we look into
Maybe they
that
could co-sponsor.
because right now, my understanding is that it's only the downtown area that we have jurisdiction.
That's correct. And
So-
then we interpreted that part of.
Yeah, so now that we are going to look into the charter and amending and I think it's important that we look into that. And thirdly, and I will not take anybody's time, I think it's important that we put HR together with the departments, we put a process in place to make sure when someone leaves the city, it's documented. And let's say that person is in charge of a certain, I don't know, for instance, like the grants, they have to do with a specific grant in Miami-Dade County and they leave the city. It's important that HR and the department head are in communication to make sure that they inform the Miami-Dade County or whoever they have to contact that that person no longer works with the city. So we're keeping our records up to date. I think that's important. So we have no miscommunications in the future.
Yeah, and that's an excellent idea. And I think one of the things that Elsa was working on is to start doing exit interviews. So any employee leaving the
That's very
city,
important too.
making sure document, okay, well, what's the reason? Is there anything that we can do better to try to retain some of the employees that we have, superstars, and for those that we can't retain, at least like you said, be able to document everything, make sure that that's done in a clean manner. Yeah. Agreed.
We tried, when I was HR, we tried to do exit interview due to the, that we didn't have the right staffing.
Right.
It was a little challenging, but yes, I think it's an excellent idea that we do exit interviews.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's it.
Is that a motion? No, there's no motion required. I think we're losing the ladies in pink. La dama rosada. Gracias,
Through the
gracias
chair.
por su paciencia. Thank you. Ay, los caballeros azules, damas primero, caballeros azules. Gracias. All right, thank you, everybody, for your patience. We're done with the
Through the
administrative
chair.
portion. Yes, oh,
Sorry.
I apologize.
It's
We're not
okay.
done.
It's okay. I had a question for Parks. During last year's budgeting meeting, I know we spoke about an outside inspector or surveyor who was being brought in to kind of go through the parks and give us a list of projects in priority, in list of priority. I think it was like going to be the top 10. I know we discussed this during budgeting and just, I never really got a list of that. And so lots of events have happened. Just curious, do we have that report from the outside surveyor?
From
Sure.
Willie Sanchez, Parks and Community Engagement. Are you referring to the pool assessment or the?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what we had discussed last year.
Yep.
Somebody was gonna come in, assess our pools
Yep.
and kind of give us a list in priority, what should be done first.
It
we-
was,
did
it
we get
was,
that?
yeah, it was completed. We can share that with council.
If we can share that, you know, obviously I know it's public that we've closed the pools. What is it that needs to be done for these pools to open?
So I made the decision to close all the pools. Again, it's an abundance of caution and general prudence. Obviously, you know, we had facilities that were neglected for years and years and years and years. Negligence completely in terms of the upkeep. Many of these pools are not operational, they're not functioning. Buggy Dam was one of them, 7 years closed. And so we were able to basically rebuild that pool completely, you know, pumps, filtration, all these things. We were able to do that. And, you know, unfortunately, we get this Department of Health report saying that even though we did all these things and all this work and all this effort, they still highlighted additional things that we would have to do in order to be able to get their approval in order to operate. So what I've said is, listen, let's be prudent. Let's close everything down. Obviously, these are things that I inherited. We don't, you know, I don't want to have these facilities open to the public unless I have an independent expert that knows everything about pools, because I'm not an expert in pools, to come in, review every single pool, top to bottom, left to right, and tell us exactly today, August of 2026, what are the conditions of the pool, what has to be done in every single pool, and then we can do those things, we can fix those things, and know that the moment we open back up to the public, that everything is in tip-top order. So that's how we came to that decision and that conclusion, in order to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future, and that we are in the best shape possible. Because obviously, you know, it's a huge liability for the city. These facilities, obviously, you know, they're full of kids, they're full of seniors even that are enjoying our facilities. We want to make sure that everybody's safe and that everything is as perfect as humanly possible.
Yep. And so what, I'm assuming that's going to be a priority.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
Willie's
Yes, ma'am.
already working on that and trying to identify. I told him, Willie, who do you hire if you're the pool guy at Fountain Blue? Who do you hire if you're, you know, running the pools at some top resort or some top aquatic theme park? That's who I want. I want the best that we can possibly get, and I want them down here, and I want them looking at every square inch of all of our facilities and know exactly what do we need to do, right? I'm not an expert. You know, we have obviously the staff that we have. So we just want somebody independent that can tell us what we need to do and just get it done.
And do we think that that process will take a couple weeks?
We
Couple
want to get,
months?
so tomorrow morning, we're going to make contact with one of the sources we received today. And we want to move as fast as we can.
Okay.
All right, because we know people want to use our pools.
Yeah. And speed is important,
Right.
but safety
But
is more
safety,
important.
Yes.
And, you know, it's going to take however long it takes. You know, we can't rush it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You know, nobody wants to open them up more than me, but you know, we need to just do the prudent thing at this moment. And again, years and years and years of neglect. These facilities need a lot of money. I've asked Commissioner Garcia to help the city of Hialeah. He's taken obviously a lot of leadership on this issue to bring us money. We need at least $5 million. We know at least that much. We still have facilities that are closed. We have 3 pools that are still closed. I'm saying closed in the sense that they've been
Right.
closed for a very, very long time. We need to fix these facilities, get them back up and running, and whatever maintenance items need to be corrected in our existing facilities. So I've asked him to bring us at least $5 million. I'm sure he's very committed and he'll do his best.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Just to echo what Councilwoman Jaylene Perez, during this process, when you guys are looking for this outside independent auditor, can you keep us in the loop? Can we get regular updates if that's cool with the mayor?
Yeah, basically it's gonna be relatively not that complicated. They'll visit each site, and after each site, they'll give us a report. So absolutely, once we get the report, we can share that to everyone. It'll be public record. You'll get a public records request, and we'll get it to everybody, and we'll see. We'll all see together what. Hopefully, the reports are 1 page and it says everything was perfect. But if they're not, we'll fix them.
And during the process of looking for the person and all that, can we get all those details as well as who we're gonna bring in and keep us in the loop with that?
Yeah, depending on the cost, that'll probably be a council item.
Okay.
So it'll probably be a council item. I assume it's going to exceed $25,000, more than likely. So it'll have to come to the council in order to pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
To echo on Council Member Marrero's keeping us in the loop, please, going forward, I would also appreciate if the council can be kept informed on any critical issues concerning the city. I know the last couple of days have been eventful, but I found out through all of them through social media.
Yeah, I found out stuff by reading it in the paper, right? So there's a
Oh.
lot of issues there that need to be corrected. But we're going to do that absolutely. And again, now we're on notice. We understand what's going on, and so we can react accordingly, right? A lot of times, it's just information that we just didn't have. So that obviously that's going to change.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other new business? We can move on to zoning. Madam Clerk, please take over. Thank you, everyone who is not here for zoning. You're welcome to stay. Otherwise, thank you for coming.
Will all those persons who will be testifying on an item, please stand and raise your right hand.
Las personas que quisieran prestar sus opiniones delante de esta junta, por favor póngase de pie y alce la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. If so, say I do.
Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y únicamente la verdad y que Dios sea su testigo. Por favor diga que sí si la respuesta es afirmativa.
Let the record reflect that all have responded in the affirmative.
En el archivo público constará que todos han respondido afirmativamente.
Thank you. Mandy, thank you for coming. And you could stay too. All right. Zoning, final decisions A and B are postponed till the second meeting of this month.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna move on to item 16, land use amendments, and more good news. Item A, bad news for our second meeting, good news for this meeting. Item A of land use amendments is also postponed. We'll move into zoning items, more surprises. Zoning item 17A, 17B, 17C are also postponed until the second meeting of August. Much more needs to be said about that, right, Madam Clerk? No?
I mean, unless the council has any questions.
Can we move on to 17D?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Madam Clerk, please read into the record.
First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1 One Family District to P Parking District for the property located at 390 East 43rd Street, Hialeah, zoned R1 One Family District, legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Item D is on first reading. And do we have, yes, sir, you are here representing the property owner. Very good. Can, go, unless anybody has any questions or anything beforehand.
We don't have him, if we can have your name and your role so that we know if you're a lobbyist, please.
already registered with the city as well. My name is John Lucas. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Ricardo Largo. And my offices are at 2655 South Lejeune Road, Coral Gables, Florida, 331.
One more time, sorry, 265?
2655 South Lejeune Road, Coral Gables, Florida, 33134.
So you did register
Yes,
online?
ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I want to remind anybody who may be here waiting, I know you're waiting. This is on first reading. We're not taking public comments on this one. Please, we're going to make a decision here if we move it or not to the second reading. If it does move to second reading, then of course, all public comments are welcome within the guidelines. But, okay, now that we've gotten past that, Mr. Lucas, you said?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You have identified yourself and go ahead.
Very briefly, Planning and Zoning Board has recommended approval, as has your planning director herself. In connection with the approval, the discussion was robust before the board, and we ended up laying out specific conditions that the owner has agreed to. And in fact, your law department has already prepared a declaration of covenants, which is quite extensive. It has already been signed and has been tendered to the city as well. This is a change of zoning. We visited this issue a couple of years back unsuccessfully. We have advanced beyond with a better design. The proposed parking lot, which this is a change of zoning from R1 to P. And the P is uniquely and singularly applicable to this property only in connection with the existing use. So it can never be separated. It's going to be bound by a unity of title, if you will. And the proposed parking lot is going to provide a solution to the restaurant's parking, its needs, and it's going to alleviate what has been experienced as unauthorized parking on the swale areas themselves. In fact, the planning director had a great suggestion. She indicated with regard to a swale area located in front of the vacant lot itself, that we convert that to a curbed and landscaped area that would prevent unauthorized parking or the type of swale parking that one would typically encounter. Let me not belabor the point, because I know the public comment is not going to be forthcoming this evening. I would ask the council to please take a moment in advance of our next meeting in order for us, if this advances, in order for us to, for you rather, to better understand the conditions that have been imposed, which are stringent. They are enforceable by way of code enforcement or otherwise through a cancellation or termination of the actual authorization if we're good enough to receive that. Thank you. And I'm here to answer any questions you have. Maria Fernandez, the architect, is here as well if anybody has any questions regarding design features.
Yes. Yeah, I know this has been a hot topic. And just to be clear for my colleagues, this is strictly nothing to do with the business, something to do with the business. This is turning a vacant R1 single-family home lot, which is vacant at this time. And this is limited to changing the zoning of R1 into a parking lot for the use of the restaurant. I've got the first question, which was important, which I asked you last time, and I think, what time will the parking lot be closed and secured that nobody from the neighborhood can park in it? Obviously, the restaurant closes at a certain time. Is that anywhere in the conditions or the?
I don't believe that that is in the conditions.
I mean, I know it's going to be gated and it'll be able to be closed and locked, right?
Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
But I can't give you the specific time.
I think
or
by the
terms of
second
operation.
reading, because that's important, because nobody wants to think that they could be any possibility of loitering in that parking lot at night when the business is closed and nobody's minding the store. So could you see if by the second reading you can have that information for us and maybe we can include that in the conditions or the covenant? I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, McDonald's across the street did it years ago because they were having loitering there and everything. And we recommended when I was in the police department to start chaining off certain sections, closing certain sections at night to avoid just this huge dark parking lot where kids would come and hang out. So I think that part's very important, that the neighbors know that at certain time in the evenings, like clockwork, it'll be closed. So if you can find out what time is convenient for the business and I guess, right? get-
Council President, certainly we can work with Mr. Lucas. Tony Recio is special counsel for the city on this matter, and I believe they have been in communication, so that could definitely be part of the conditions.
Thank you.
Be happy to be prepared to address that.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for this change of zoning for Mr. Lucas?
Through the chair, sorry
sir.
if I missed it. Has this property in the past tried to change to a parking lot
Yes,
previously? Yeah.
yes. We had an application that was, don't hold me to this, approximately 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it was not successful at this level.
Mr. Lucas and maybe Mr. Marrero will. Yeah, I was one of those that I did vote for it because I thought it was a solution they needed because a lot of the complaints, and rightfully so, where there wasn't enough parking, then they'd occupy the swale areas of the surrounding neighborhood. And the business was not a good neighbor for a while. They're good, hardworking people, but they were not good neighbors for a while. There was a lot of garbage thrown around. They didn't have somebody constantly monitoring that. But I've gone around. I haven't let the owner know or anybody, but I've gone around several times whenever I'm in the area in the past, since when I knew this was coming up again. And at least the impression I've gotten, they've cleaned up their act a lot. They used to have vendors outside the business, which was a prohibited activity. Everything was to be contained. I didn't see that anymore. They had the corn huskers outside. It was a mess. It was clean. They finished their construction. They did their expansion and their storage in the actual restaurant, but I found it to be clean the times that I went and unannounced. I don't let the owners or the operators know, Mr. Largo, that I'm going. You want to catch them in a candid way. And I've been very impressed personally. I like that he's cleaned it up. And I told him, I was the one who told him years ago that, listen, you've been a bad neighbor. You're too busy for your own good and you haven't been, minding the store because the neighborhood suffered from it. But I hope that got better. It seemed to me that it looks better.
I can assure you it's gotten much better.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, in the declaration of restrictions that Mr. Recio has
Yeah.
prepared, there are 2 specific items there that address your concerns this evening. I'll just share those with you. Subparagraph.
Okay, Council,
yes.
before you continue, just to clarify, for Mr. Marrero, one matter. Whenever an application does in fact get denied, a zoning application, there is a stay, like a ban essentially of a year. So this is something that was more than a year ago that's
Okay.
being presented now.
Thank you.
What I was going to
Go
make
ahead.
is we have a condition here for somebody to be assigned for purposes of monitoring litter, particularly during those periods of time when you have, peak periods of people coming in, either staying on premises and eating or otherwise just picking up and leaving. But also we have a specific provision and a condition which requires the owner to provide an individual who will be deployed for purposes of monitoring the traffic and facilitating the traffic so that you have that ease and facility of access without impairing or otherwise obstructing your adjacent right-of-ways.
Mr. Lucas, please, no matter what the decision is today, convey to Mr. Largo, he works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know sometimes he doesn't have the time to look back at what's going on. We're going to hold him. If we approve this in any way, we're going to hold him to all that. He's not hidden somewhere that's an industrial area that you can be a bad player and it doesn't become a nuisance. He's in a residential neighborhood. We're going to hold him to this, whatever the conditions and the covenant is, right? We have to hold him to this. We'll all be looking at it if we drive by, if it gets approved. We'll be looking at it when we drive by. I'll be keeping my eye on it because we have to act here like if we're the neighbors there and can we live with that? If he continues with what seems the right track he's on, I commend him for it, but I really hope he does. Any other questions from the council?
Through the chair, so
Yes,
is
sir.
the restaurant all in compliance with that expansion, or has there been any complaints at all from the restaurant?
Claudia Hasbun, Planning and Zoning Official. In terms of the restaurant itself, they have all the licenses and everything. During this application, we received a couple of complaints for the property relating across the street that is also owned by the property owner, and we have submitted that to code enforcement for code enforcement to investigate and find out that process.
Thank you.
Again, I apologize. Cualquier persona que vino para testificar en contra o a favor de esto, por favor, en esta reunión no se va a permitir esto. La póliza es en la próxima reunión el 25 de agosto. I just want to remind anybody who's here for that. Any other questions from the dais on zoning item D? Or whenever you're ready, pleasure of the council. No rush. Yes, ma'am.
I would put in a motion to deny.
We will take the motion, right? At this point, we can take it. What's the procedure? Okay, so we have a motion denied. Should I ask for a second and then we call the roll? Is that proper at this juncture?
I mean, at the pleasure of you as the holding the quorum, you could definitely just have the city clerk take a vote on the item.
Yes, gotcha.
We need a second vote.
But we need a second.
On
There's a
the-
vote on the item.
On the motion to deny. Is that what you're saying? We need a second? Because what we have is a motion to deny.
Yeah, and then you need a second on the motion to, Councilwoman De La Vega's motion to deny.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then if we get the second, then we've got to call. the
Then you
vote
have
on
to
that
call a
one.
vote. That's correct.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion to deny from Council Vice President De La Vega. Do we have a second? Motion dies?
Yes, sir. Motion
Madam
fails at
Madam
the
Clerk.
pleasure of the council for lack of a second.
I can't say dies. Okay. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Otherwise, again, if anybody has any more questions or whenever anybody is ready, pleasure of the council.
Motion to table for the next meeting.
What is it that, is there anything that we can
I'll second that motion.
clarify? That's okay. Motion to table, second to table, and we're gonna do, is there anything before we move to the vote? Is there anything that you'd like to ask Mr. Lucas to bring for the next meeting? Or would you like to go by there and see what's going, whatever? Is there,
Yeah.
if there's anything, ask him now or.
At the moment, I don't feel completely comfortable with the project. I
Mhm.
do think it'd be fair to have a full council before making
Okay.
a decision for a denial. So that's the only reason I will motion to
That's
table.
fine. I just wanted to know, so, so you can be ready, Mr. Lucas. That's fine. So you don't, you just want a full council.
Yeah.
That's fine.
fair.
Motion to table for August 25th. So
Yeah.
this would be tabling. We do the first reading all over again. So, okay. And we have a second to table from Councilman Luis Gonzalez. Please call the roll.
Mr. Marrero,
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until the council meeting of August 25th, 2026.
I think it's best that way for today, and let's get a whole council and please. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. De nuevo, gracias, señora. No se ha hecho nada, por si acaso alguien, no se hizo ninguna decisión. Este tema se va a tomar otra vez, discutir otra vez a las 5:30, agosto 25, ¿ok? Thank you. So, item E of zoning.
First reading of proposed ordinance granting variances to allow interior east and west side setbacks of 7.16 feet where 10 feet is required, rear setback of 14.3 feet where 20 feet is required, 24.41% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required, 8 parking spaces where 11 parking spaces are required, and the proposed dumpster enclosure to be located 3.42 feet from the right-of-way where 10 feet is required. All contrary to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Sections 98-590, 78 108, 98 2203, 98 591, and the Hialeah Landscape Manual for the property located at 533 East 22nd Street, Hialeah, zoned R35 Multiple Family District, legally described herein, providing for conditions, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item E is on first reading, not open for public discussion. If everyone agrees, we'll allow the lobbyist and architect Manny Rose to explain it. Give us. a
Good evening,
presentation.
Manny Rose, architect with offices at 18501 Pines Boulevard, Suite 342, Pembroke
Mhm.
Pines, Florida. This project is coming before you after being approved by the zoning board unanimously. This is like a sister project to the one next door that we got approved from you all back in September of last year. Both zoning board and council approved it unanimously. The history between these two projects is that it burned a few years back because of lack of water on the street. The fire department could not connect to the fire hydrants and so forth. And part of our project, for the project that's already being permitted at the moment next door at 541, is extending the water line sufficiently to the east side to accommodate the proper pressure for the fire sprinklers and so forth.
Is that adding a hydrant, or it doesn't
Yes,
need
sir.
a hydrant? It
Yes,
adds
sir.
a hydrant
Yes.
as well. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Go on.
At the east side of the property. It's basically almost an identical project. We're doing a modern design, so 'cause we as architects don't like the same design one next to each other, but the encompasses the same idea. And you've got pictures of the parking area on the street that is sufficient to accommodate the few parking spaces that were short, like we were next door. I personally went in and took some pictures, and I walked the area. And we feel very strongly about this project, and would love to have your approval on it. So if you all have any questions, I'd be more than glad to. And by the way, I brought the whole staff here today.
Are you
to
paying?
see? Yes, yes, sir. And we're having dinner after this. So anyways,
How many units is it, Manny?
I'm sorry?
This one, how many units is this one?
5 units, the same identical to the one next door. There's
Go on.
3 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms.
Thank you, sir. Go on. Yeah, that it?
And that's basically my presentation. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than glad to answer them.
Yes, sir. Council, anyone have any questions for Mr. Rose?
Manny.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sorry, through the chair. The project obviously brings light, right? I think it's a nice project, especially that we already approved the one.
The one to the right, yes.
However, 8 parking spaces, anything we can do to make it 10? It's 5 units.
Well, it just won't fit. I mean, we had,
Can we change the design a little bit to add parking spots?
it's very tight in the bottom area, ma'am.
So
I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, I think again, we continue to have parking issues, right, in the city. And so if we continue to approve projects where we are making variance changes to parking, we will continue to have parking issues and people parking in the swale and people parking where they're not supposed to be parking. So although I love this project, I would love to see how we can make parking work.
Okay, if you pardon for me interrupting you, but if you look at the pictures that I took of the off-street parking, there's like 10 or 12 parking spaces right in front of the property.
What is the picture you took of the properties in here?
Yeah, sure. They're
Okay.
inside. 8.5 by 11 in size. There's plenty of parking.
Are you talking about the parking in the front?
Yes, ma'am.
So the
Parking off street.
To park in the front?
No. The residents, there's 8 parking spaces within the it used to be 2 short. Now they moved it up to 3 short, because it's now required 11, not 10. So you have parking off street that you can accommodate probably in the neighborhood of 5 to 7 cars easily. A minimum of those. You can see across the street that the railroad track is on the other side. So there's
Yeah, I do. I see the parking. I see the parking in the front.
and I've been there at all times, and it's there, and they're mostly empty most of the time. I've been there 3 or 4 times.
I see that.
I mean, we strive to get the most we can, but sometimes to facilitate the number of units, and we don't want to go over 3 floors because it's just too much for the area.
Right.
That's the main reason, but there's always studies on our end as architects to accommodate, and the zoning director can vouch for that, what we do on our interest.
I'm gonna, I mean, again, this is just me, right? We have council, everybody can feel differently. It's just, my office continues to get complaints about parking. And I think I've been very vocal for the last year about how I feel about parking. I see the street parking in the front.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
if the units are across the street, you
There
don't
is no
know they're-
units across the streets.
Well, the
railroad
project is
track.
across the street. You're saying that there's extra parking in the front, correct?
Well, there's extra street parking, but
In the
across
front.
the street, there's a railroad track and there are no buildings.
Okay, but there's still that hazard of children, if they're parked in the front, they have to cross the street. There's a lot of reasons.
Sure.
So
mean, I
if there's
respect your
anything we can
opinion.
do, and I know Claudia, we've had this conversation. I mean, for me, parking is a big issue. Again, every little unit that we continue to approve with variances, it accumulates. It's like a snowball effect.
Through the
I-
chair,
I know
again,
you're
I
not
respect your
happy.
opinion.
Through the chair,
You
if I
done,
may.
Matt?
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Are all 5 units 2 bedrooms?
I'm sorry?
Are all 5 of the units? It's
No, there's 3 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms.
2 1-bedrooms,
3 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms.
2 1-bedroom,
Yes,
and 3 2-bedrooms.
yes.
Correct. Would you consider reworking it so there'd be more 1-bedrooms than 2-bedrooms?
We could. I mean, there's a bigger need for 2-bedrooms than there is for 1-bedroom, but
Yeah, but there's
We
no
could.
space. The
could.
parking would be an issue. And then, question, let's see. And Claudia, so the area in the front, if I'm not mistaken, is that what we're planning? Because at some point, I know we're planning on like activating under the tri-rail, that green space. Is that area?
That is correct. Basically, the area fronting the project, across the street from the project, is where we are working towards creating what we call the High Line.
Yeah.
So we are working, actively working with Miami-Dade County to enter into the agreement, eventually to create that
Yeah.
activation.
So yeah, today there's maybe parking, but in the future, we're planning on creating a space where residents are gonna be parking there and visiting, right? So
I mean, it can work both ways. You need also the density to activate these spaces. But also, yes, to your point, you will need the parking for those activities.
And do you feel comfortable currently with the spread of the 2 bedrooms and 1-bedrooms and the parking?
Definitely it is a position where the design it's a beautiful design. The area it is supporting for that. Actually, they are high density, but it's a small lot. The option probably it will be towards either converting to 1-bedrooms or evaluating the fact if the project can be become a 4-unit project. That is something that it could be evaluated.
Can we, yeah, I would like to explore those options to see if we could lean towards, I don't know what choice you'd rather make, either, come down to 4 units or make it more single, like 1-bedroom versus 2 bedrooms. Because if it's 2 bedrooms, we could be looking up to 4 cars, right? If there's 2 couples in each room, they each have a car. We're talking about possibly 4 cars per unit. So it'd be a lot more than just, 8. So, I mean, again, I'm willing to table it and see if we could come up with a solution. So the parking's, we have a better solution for that. That's where I'm at right now.
We have to table it.
Well, William Marrero and Manny, correct this if I understood him well. A 2-bedroom, neither by code nor they could have 17 cars, but a 2-bedroom would not require 4 spaces. Was that what you were saying? 1 2-bedroom
well,
unit?
Yes, I know it doesn't require by code, but in theory, it could be up to 4 cars if there were, again, assuming
Yeah, but
couples. But by
Two
code,
couples,
what are we?
no, That, no city has that, right?
But wh-
But
but
I
what
know
is
what
the-
you're saying, but no, right.
But what is
That
the,
ratio is not commonly seen. Basically, you have 2 bedrooms and you have 2 cars because there is 2 adults and a child, 2 children. So the ratio, it's not typically seen that you have an apartment, 4 cars. So it's typically.
I understand.
Yeah.
And just for my knowledge, what is the current ratio for like, I guess, per bedroom to cars?
In this specific zoning district, it is, it's 2 parking spaces, per unit. So you have,
Per unit
per unit, this is not an MBD. This. So you have 5 residential units. You require 10 parking spaces plus 1 guest parking. That's why the requirement is 11 parking spaces for the 5 residential units.
Okay. Understood. I got it. And still thank you for the information. For my knowledge, I still will feel more comfortable if we figured out some sort of spread where it be more sensitive for the parking.
Okay, can I get a feeling of the rest of the members?
Well,
Before if it's, approved or disapproved? I don't want to get it disapproved. If I have to rework it, we'll rework it. I mean, we didn't
Man,
have any problems next door.
Seems I can't do a pre-roll call. It seems like there's 4 of us left, right? It seems like if I push the motion, go ahead, please.
Mr. Marrero had indicated, Council President, that he's willing to table the matter. So if that's a
Okay.
motion coming from
Okay,
Councilmember Marrero, then we can have.
is that what you said?
look for
Okay,
a second and go from there.
If we have a second.
okay,
There's a second.
all right. I didn't
And we have a
hear
second.
the table.
Second to table the item.
So we have a first to table from Councilman Marrero. We have a second from Councilwoman Perez. Please call the roll.
This would be until August 25th,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Ms. G. Perez,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Marrero.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until August 25th, 2026.
We're still, Madam Attorney, I think it's a silly question, but we're still within that scope that can individually, if any council member wanted to contact Mr. Rose before the second meeting, can we do that individually?
You can, so long as it's disclosed on the 25th as to the extent of the communication.
Okay, but as long as it's disclosed, it's nothing that's gonna.
It will follow our code. and-
I have a
Yes,
question.
sir. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be around, neither is my wife. On the 25th, we're going away for a much needed
Your
vacation.
call. Your call.
So I guess I'll have to contact the zoning department to postpone it for another day.
We can just reconsider the motion and we can,
We can reconsider the motion with a future date in September that will work. for
Yes.
Parties.
What's the first, you wanted the first meeting in September? What
Yes.
day is it?
that would be
No, the
September
9th,
8th.
no, the one after the 9th.
The September 8th is the council meeting.
Okay, it would have to be after that. We're not.
So September 22nd.
Yes,
Okay, in September, our council meetings are going to commence at 7, not 5:30, because we have budget at 5:30.
okay, that's fine.
So the roll, we haven't called the roll on this.
We did, sir, but we
And-
can
and we
reconsider.
can- No, no, but I mean, do we have to call it again and
Yeah.
change
Yes.
the date?
Yes, Council
Okay,
President.
so do you still, we still have
Motion to
motion
reconsider.
for September 22nd,
Second
right?
at 7 p.m.
Tabling it to September the 22nd. Very good. And we have a second still. I'm sorry. Councilwoman Perez was the second to September 22nd. Go ahead and call the roll.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Marrero.
Yes.
Ms. G. Perez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until September 22nd, 2026 at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Manny. And unless anyone has anything to add,
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. That's
The
right.
Communications Division has asked me to remind everyone that the mayor will be hosting a town hall meeting this Thursday, August 13th at 6 p.m. at Babcock Park.
thank you. Also, yeah, you all got invitations for this Saturday at Mylander, the Colonia Back to School giveaway. So we're all invited, Mylander, 10 a.m. this Saturday. Thank you all. If no one has anything to add, we will adjourn the meeting, the City of Hialeah Council meeting of August 11, 2026 at 7:53 PM.